the most shocking celebrity crimes and scandals. The boundary between fame and notoriety is razor thin, and it can be crossed at any time if the incorrect motive or an unintended act causes someone to suffer. Because of the criminal status, some charges are withdrawn without receiving true justice. Some celebrities do occasionally serve time and receive punishment for their misdeeds, though. These celebrity crimes may make you wonder why these celebrities' names aren't usually automatically connected to their offenses. Number 10. Mark Wahlberg. Accused of attempting murder. He is a well-known actor who is noted for consistently playing the tough guy in his films. Before he became an actor and during his less well-known rap career, Mark Wahlberg was branded as a criminal. When he was barely 13 years old, he developed a cocaine addiction, dropped out of school at 14, and had a civil lawsuit brought against him for a racially motivated offense. Wahlberg was accused of yelling racial epithets and throwing rocks at African-American pupils on 2 consecutive occasions. Though he had already been afoul of the Boston Police Department at least 20 times, the worst was yet to come. At the age of 16, Wahlberg attacked a Vietnamese man in the middle of the street, beating him until he passed out. Later on that day, he used a metal hook to strike another Asian man, leaving the victim with one eye blind. The now actor was accused of trying to kill someone, but he simply admitted to the assault. He received a 2-year prison sentence at the end of it, but he only spent 45 days in jail. Furthermore, Wahlberg then requested a complete pardon from the Massachusetts state government for his prior transgressions, but he never followed through. Number 9. Will Smith is accused of serious assault. We have been charmed by the dynamic performances of this famous actor. Despite being a leading actor in Hollywood, he probably doesn't like discussing one particular topic. Will Smith and William Hendricks, a record promoter, got into a fight back in 1989 in Philadelphia. Hendricks was brutally beaten by the actor's security, who was instructed to do so by the actor. As a result, Hendricks' eye orbit was fractured, leaving him almost completely blind in one eye. Smith was found guilty of aggravated assault, criminal conspiracy, and reckless endangerment of another person. Even though the actor spent the night in a cell where other inmates kept waking him up for autographs, the charges were ultimately dropped. Smith, who continues to this day to assert his innocence, called it the worst night of his life and claimed in 2005 that Hendricks had been beaten up by a friend while he was only a witness. Number 8. Snoop Dogg is accused of killing. One of the most well-known rappers in the world has an odd past. Although he has received many financial and professional benefits and has developed quite a reputation, Snoop Dogg's life was not always spectacular. The artist frequently ran afoul of the law throughout his school years on suspicions of selling drugs, notably cocaine, and even served 6 months in prison. It has also come to light that he supplied marijuana to Cameron Diaz, an old high school classmate who went on to become well-known. Drug-related charges aren't the worst, though. Snoop Dogg and his bodyguard were found guilty of shooting Philip Wildemariam, who was a member of a rival gang, to death back in 1993. The bodyguard was exonerated of the accusations right away by claiming self-defense, but the rapper wasn't freed until 1996, 3 years after the incident had taken place. Number 7. Matthew Broderick is accused of causing a fatal accident while driving recklessly. Our darling Matthew Broderick has a bloody scar from a sad period in his history. While on vacation in Ireland in 1987, Broderick was traveling with his girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Grey. The actor took a turn into the incorrect lane by accident because they were supposed to travel on the left side of the road. 2 persons died as a result of the major collision that ensued with another vehicle. On impact, Anna Gallagher and her mother perished instantaneously, while Broderick and Grey were injured. The actor was facing a potential 5-year sentence after being accused of causing a fatal accident while driving recklessly. Yet nothing of the sort occurred. Broderick avoided jail time and only had to pay a $175 fine for negligent driving. It's impossible to disagree with the victim's relatives when they label it a travesty of justice. Number 6. Vanilla Ice, charged by battery. Vanilla Ice has run into legal issues ever since 1991. He was originally taken into custody after allegedly threatening a homeless guy with a revolver. After beating his wife, He was later detained in 2001 on charges of assault. Ice admitted to tearing out some of her hair during the altercation and entered a guilty plea for disorderly conduct. He was thus given a probationary period and ordered to attend family therapy sessions. But it didn't appear to have accomplished much. After being accused of beating his wife in 2008, Vanilla Ice was once more charged with abuse. Nevertheless, he was freed a day later after his wife admitted that he had just nudged her. He was also ordered to avoid his wife going forward, but the matter was subsequently withdrawn. Number 5. Jay-Z has been accused of attempting murder. This rapper ran into problems from the start. Jay-Z shot his drug-addicted older brother in the shoulder when he was only 12 years old after his sibling had taken his ring. It inspired the line, "Seeing the devil in your eyes / high off more than weed, bewildered, I simply closed my youthful eyes and squeezed," from the song You Must Love Me. Even though Jay-Z was never found guilty of the shooting, he acknowledged in 2010 that he had been afraid for his life at that point. A 1999 episode, however, was more than just a youth and confusion-related crime. Lanson Riviera was stabbed in the stomach after a dispute outside a nightclub, and Jay-Z was accused of doing it. The rapper received only 3 years of probation after entering a plea guilty to a misdemeanor. Number 4. Drug trafficking charges against Tim Allen. Tim Allen has major drug trafficking offenses before he was an actor. He was apprehended carrying more than 650 grams of cocaine in 1978 at the airport. Allen was initially sentenced to life in prison after pleading guilty to narcotics trafficking. Yet, he asked to have it scaled back in exchange for the identities of other drug traffickers who fit within his target market. It succeeded. Allen was granted parole after barely 2 years and 4 months of incarceration. His sole run-in with the law since then has been a 1997 DUI incident, which he once again avoided with just a year of probation. It must be difficult to picture this family-friendly performer in such a terrible environment. Number 3. Illegal sexual behavior charges against Marilyn Manson. Notorious for his bizarre behavior, Marilyn Manson was thought to have gone too far in 2001. The rock star allegedly pulled his head up against his naked crotch and spat on a security guard during a concert, leading to a misdemeanor allegation of disorderly conduct against him. Although the performer had a reputation for shocking his audience, forcing an unwilling participant to participate was a completely different thing. Manson was charged with criminal sexual behavior as well as 1 count of assault and violence. The rocker could have received up to 2 years in prison for the felony, but instead just received a $4,000 fine. Many of Manson's former partners and other women came forward in 2021 to claim that the rock star had mistreated them physically, sexually, and/or mentally, but he has always rejected the claims and has not yet been charged with any crimes. Number 2. Child pornography, sex trafficking, and other charges brought against R. Kelly. R. Kelly has been in the news since the 1990s for allegedly abusing minors, and those allegations have persisted to this day. In 2002, the singer was detained and charged with 21 charges of child pornography. The 12-year-old girl Kelly was meant to introduce to the world of fame was accused of participating in the filming of a sex tape with Kelly. The girl's identity was never established during the court, and Kelly's case was strengthened by the fact that her testimony was insufficient. Number 1. Sid Vicious. Accused of murder. Sid Vicious, the Sex Pistols bassist, was well known for his heroin addiction, but he nonetheless rose to fame throughout his life. When something occurred to Sid's fiancée in 1978, the bass player called the front desk of the hotel where he and Nancy Spungen were staying. Spungen had been fatally stabbed in the stomach multiple times. It was discovered. On that day, Sid was detained and charged with murder. What do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.